The first task really is to audit your web presence. Find out exactly what it is that can be discovered about you. You might want to think of it just in these two easy blocks: your non-work identity and your academic or your work identity. How do you appear online? You can see from the images here that very common that you might be far more playful and relaxed in your personal identity through Facebook than you are in your LinkedIn profile. But it's really how would you like to appear online, and then that process of actively managing it. So following on from that, what are the ways that you can appear online? Well, one way is that you could just appear to be sort of running wild and free and naked on the internet. It doesn't really matter to you how you appear online. That's fine if you've decided that. That's really quite okay. There's no problem appearing that way. Lots of people appear that way just as a matter of course because they just choose not to manage it. They don't want to have to think about it every time they put something online. Or you can be quite controlled and measured. Go in and lock everything down and really tightly control everything. Perhaps more commonly you'll find that you want to be somewhere in between, and it's fine to have those two individual but linked ideas. Now you need to get into the nuts and bolts of it. Start Google searching and really discover the basics. Email, phone number, addresses, and then images and videos, or just any media of you. So you might want to think, what are all the different emails I use? Do you do consulting work? Have you got a business that you own? Have you got an academic one? Have you got legacy academic ones from previous workplaces? Have you got old email addresses that might still have some value to dig up and find out about? And of course, phone numbers. Again, you can have old phone numbers that can be relevant as well. But really find out if they can contact you personally and professionally as well. The same with addresses. It's very easy often to find someone's home address. Would you like to manage that? Is it important if people know where you live, or completely unimportant? And then the last one is the images and videos of you. So there's potentially a lot of imagery and video material. What are you doing in there? What are you saying in there? Does that have any effect on, does that work for or against what you'd like to have as your professional online or research identity? Now let's look at it from the professional perspective and start to consider all these different things. References to you, other people mentioning you, what are they saying about you? Have you appeared at conferences? What kind of papers have you delivered? Are there recordings of those of you delivering those papers? Have you worked with collaborators who might have made reference to you or said things about you online, published things about you online? Bios, short bios. And do you put your CV and resume somewhere in particular? Is that something you'd like to do? If it's not there at all, is it something you'd definitely like to do or actively manage? What about quotes from you? So references from books that you might have published. And then responsibilities and titles. So one way of thinking about this last one is, what will people potentially come asking you to do as a result of what they see online? Once you've got all this information, it can be a very exhaustive list. You can really dig deep down into the web and find out, some things that will make your hair curl. But once you've made this list, you've got to divide it up and then just think about what's practical for you or not. What is the stuff that you can really directly put your hands on and change, or indirectly? Maybe you can phone someone, email them because you know them very well, and say, hey, would you mind altering this? Can you amend this so it's a bit more in line with the best way to put yourself across? What's really impractical? And again, what to correct a record on might be something you can indirectly change. So impracticality might be, perhaps you're with a partner and there was a lot of video and audio from holidays or whatever, and that's posted somewhere, but you're not with that person anymore, and it might be quite impractical to change all that stuff. And then you've got the last one, which is really what's not going to affect you one way or the other. You may find that they'll fall into all of those categories, or some of them might just be not useful